This is Editing Dan coming to you live from his desk. This video is the first you'll see, but it's the last I've recorded for the upcoming 3. I'm going to be away in Japan, but I hope you all enjoy. As always, thanks for watching and be good people.
Suguru Geto, one of the 4 known special grade sorcerers of today, and his innate curse technique, curse spirit manipulation, proved to be a great ally and an extremely dangerous foe. So, let's take a look at 2 of the faces behind the names as we explore the myth, folklore, and legends of 2 grudge entities. The Kuchisake-onna is a curse spirit in the vague approximation of a woman, one that Suguru Geto summoned after Toji Fushiguro killed Riko Amanai, the star plasma vessel. The cursed spirit is tall and brooding, with bandages covering her face, and with long black hair that drapes over her eyes and down her back. This curse is a rare example of one that has an innate domain, one so powerful that it immediately institutes a binding vow of non-violence, and seems to slow time to a standstill. The clause that fulfills this binding vow, answering her question of, "Am I pretty?" Toji, upstanding murderer that he is, told her that she wasn't his type. This unfortunately was the incorrect answer, prompting the cursed spirit to use her other ability, which happens when the domain drops, scissors that threaten the body of the one who answered the question. Toji quickly shrugged that off because he is him, and proceeded to absolutely dice through the Kuchisake-onna and Geto before going on his way. Job well done. But why am I pretty? And what's the deal with the jank mouth and sharpened teeth? If you've watched enough anime, the answer is pretty clear. But if not, this should be good enough to let you understand. The Kuchisake-onna is a yokai, or spirit, that wanders about, concealing her face until she can corner unsuspecting people, and ask them, "Watashi kirei?" or "Am I pretty?" If one answers yes, she removes whatever is concealing her face, be it her coat, a paper mask, a kerchief, or a fan, and reveals her mouth is split open from ear to ear. Gruesome, to be sure. Then she asks again, "Kore demo?" or "Even now?" And if the person answers yes to that face, their face is cut to match hers, with the usage of her knife or pair of scissors, which explains the usage of scissors in JJK. Well, what about if you answer no? Well, answering no to either question results in instant death. She lashes out with her scissors and threatens to kill whoever dares to say such words. Unless you're built all the way different, she's going to maim or kill you. There are a few escape routes, however. The first is not too far off from what Toji did. You just have to tell the Kuchisake-onna that she's average looking at best, instead of saying she's not your type. This proves confusing enough that you can get out of the situation before she can even react. Additionally, or alternatively, if you have a handful of coins or candy in your pockets, you can give them to this vengeful ghost, and she'll be equally confused, giving you a way out as well. Now, in terms of where did this come from, that's an interesting thing. In the 1970s, as a horror story, the Kuchisake-onna seemed to enter the public zeitgeist. However, there is at least one piece of artwork that dates back as far as the 1800s, depicting a figure that appears to be the same. Regardless, this malevolent spirit is old and dangerous, but not completely unbeatable. And Toji proved that its cursed counterpart is also very, very beatable. Just like Geto, and unfortunately, just like Riko Amanai. Tamamo-no-Mae, Incarnation. One of the 16 special grade curses, and a tool that somewhat serves as a trump card for Geto. She appears to once more be a woman, though of average height, with 4 eyes and a mouth that's kind of squared off and bigger than the rest of her head, almost like a puppet or a old cartoon dog. She wears a bright kimono and walks on her feet that kind of talon outward like hands. We do not get to see a simple domain, a cursed ability, or much of anything from this curse because of when it appears in JJK 0 and who's it facing against. Geto seemed confident enough in its strength to handle either Yuta Kotsu or Rika when the former was just getting his footing as a sorcerer, so it bears some semblance of power, and its rank of special grade adds on to that. And even more so than the Kuchisake-onna, Tamamo-no-Mae probably doesn't need an introduction at all. Tamamo's story gets fleshed out in Toriyama Seiken's Konjaku Hyaki Shui, which is a bestiary of sorts, depicting yokai and monsters and giving some of their legends. In this case, a shape-changer, a nine-tailed kitsune, who traveled through much of East Asia, causing havoc and chaos. You see, Tamamo bewitched Emperor Zhao of the Shang dynasty, creating a reign of terror and fear, and leading to the collapse of that dynasty. Then she was cast out and made her way to India, and possessed a prince there, leading to 1,000 men losing their heads before being cast back to China. From there, after being chased away yet again, she arrived in Japan. And there she became Tamamo-no-Mae, the concubine to the Emperor Konoe. She was beautiful, intelligent, and cunning, living the life befitting of a courtesan of the era, and having a great time. That is, until the Emperor's health mysteriously began to decline, and her astrologer eventually found her out. Tamamo then escaped from the palace and into the wilderness of Nasu in her true nine-tailed fox form, and she lived there for a while, until two heroes sent by the Emperor arrived to slay her. And slay her they did. In diverging tales, her fate ended up in the same place. In one telling, it was her corpse that fell and became a stone that belched forth toxic gas to all who touched it, killing them. In another, it was not her body, but her spirit that found a way to a stone, and all that touched the stone were slain. Until centuries later, just over two in fact, a Buddhist monk came to the accursed stone and performed an exorcism to put the fox's soul to rest, and to clear up the death and destruction caused by the stone. And if only that was the end of her story. Now, 700 years on from that moment, the stone that contained Tamamo-no-Mae has split. The weary fox has been retired for good. Her JJK counterpart ran afoul of Yuta Kotsu and Rika, and much like Geto, ended up in quite a sorry state, though that's far from the worst thing to befall Suguru Geto. But that'll be a story for a different day or mayhaps a different channel. As always, thanks for watching.